Ever taken a taxi ride where your English kind of turned the trip into a comedy show?
Oh, yeah, I can imagine.
Well, today we're going to deep dive into a story aptly titled Story 3, The Taxi Ride of Terror and English Confidence.
Hmm. Interesting title.
Yeah, don't worry. The only terror here is like the fear of making a language mistake or two.
Right.
But the real journey is watching someone build their confidence, one slightly mispronounced word at a time.
I love it.
So we've got this excerpt and it throws us right into the action with Ravi.
Okay.
He's this determined English learner and his friend Sophia is there to support him along the way.
Nice.
And then we have Mr. Johnson,
Right.
a pretty expressive taxi driver.
Uh-oh. Sounds like trouble already.
Their mission, a simple taxi ride to Central Park.
Simple, right.
Except Ravi's made this little vow to himself that he's going to speak only in English.
Oh, boy, this is going to be good.
So let's see how it goes.
Let's do it.
The story starts with them hailing a cab on a busy street.
Picture this, a bustling city street.
Yeah, and imagine the sounds of like car horns honking in the background.
Gotta love that city ambience.
So they finally manage to flag down a taxi, and Mr. Johnson leans out the window with a gruff, "Where to?"
The classic taxi driver line.
Right. And Ravi takes a deep breath and confidently says, "Please take me to Central Parking."
Central parking.
Yeah, he meant to say Central Park, of course, but,
Yeah.
Nerves can get the best of us.
Oh, absolutely. I can totally relate to that feeling when you're trying to speak in a new language and your brain just kind of short circuits.
It happens to the best of us.
For sure.
So anyway, Mr. Johnson just kind of sighs and mutters under his breath, "All right, tourists."
Oh, I bet Ravi wanted to disappear right then and there.
Probably.
But this little slip-up is actually a huge learning opportunity.
How so?
Well, first of all, think about how similar parking and park sound.
Yeah, they do.
That kind of phonetic overlap, it's a really common challenge for English learners.
Makes sense.
But more importantly, pay attention to everyone's reactions. Sophia, she giggles,
Yeah.
kind of diffusing the awkwardness.
Right.
And Mr. Johnson, even though he sighed, he still gets them where they need to go.
That's good.
Yeah, the environment around a learner, it can make a world of difference.
It's like having a safety net.
Exactly.
So they're on their way and things seem to be going smoothly, but then as they're driving, Ravi suddenly remembers something.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He turns to Sophia and in a panicked voice shouts, "Stop! Stop! We forget our bags of money!"
Bags of money.
I know, right? I can just picture dollar signs flying everywhere.
That's hilarious.
But of course, what he was trying to say was that they'd forgotten their wallets.
Ah, that makes more sense.
Sophia quickly jumps in to clarify.
Thank goodness.
She says to Mr. Johnson, "He means wallets. No bags of money, I promise."
Ooh, crisis averted.
Great. And what's really great is how Ravi responds.
How does he react?
He doesn't get all flustered or embarrassed.
Right.
Nope, he just laughs along with them and even says, "English is difficult but funny too."
No, that's the spirit.
Isn't it? Embracing the humor in those mistakes, it's such a powerful way to build confidence.
It takes the pressure off.
So eventually, they make it to Central Park, their intended destination.
Finally.
And as they're getting out of the cab, Ravi, feeling pretty good about his English adventure, decides to thank Mr. Johnson.
Oh, sweet.
He says, "Thank you, sir. You are a good taxi man."
A taxi man.
Yeah, another little stumble.
Of course.
But Mr. Johnson, he just smiles and says, "The word is driver, but hey, you did great, kid."
Ah, that's a great way to correct someone.
I know, right? Gentle but encouraging.
Absolutely.
And as they're walking away, Sophia turns to Ravi and says, "See, you didn't get lost, just lost in translation."
That's such a perfect observation.
Right. It highlights how communication is more about understanding each other than speaking perfect English.
Exactly.
So to wrap things up, what can we learn from Ravi's taxi ride?
Well, I think the big takeaway is that mistakes are a natural part of learning any language.
They're not the end of the world.
Nope. In fact, they can be pretty funny.
Like speed bumps on the road to fluency.
I like that analogy.
And most importantly, Ravi shows us that speaking with confidence, even when you're not totally sure of yourself, is key.
It's about taking that leap of faith.
Exactly. And that ability to laugh at yourself, that's like a secret weapon for building confidence.
It really is. It makes the whole learning process so much more enjoyable.
Couldn't agree more.
You know, it makes me think about all the times we hold ourselves back from trying something new because we're afraid of making mistakes.
It's a common fear.
But Ravi's taxi ride reminds us that sometimes the best learning happens when we get things wrong
When we get lost in translation.
and find our way through.
That's a great point to ponder. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
My pleasure.
And for more fun English learning stories, don't forget to subscribe to the Duo Dialogues. We'll catch you in our next episode.
See ya!